It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day. So, I have 3 euphorbia trigonas in my garden. I have obviously this one, and then Greg, if you could flip around and show them the one over there in the big pot. Got that one. And then I've also got one out front. And yes, I am going to show you the front. I promise soon. It looks so cute right now. We will do that. So anywho, this is one of my favorite plants. I love euphorbia trigona, and you know that this whole vibe in my yard is kind of undersea or coral reef or whatever. We are celebrating 2 years in this house in August, in just a couple of weeks. So the garden is really starting to grow and morph, and I'm starting to notice places where I might want to make some changes. And I do love this plant, but I don't need 3 of them in my yard. This is a small garden. There are so many things, right? There are so many plants that I really want to showcase something else. So I was over at the coral reef project that we did in University City a couple of weeks ago consulting, because next week we're going to be doing a maintenance and some renovations at that property. And our client has a pot in the coral reef that I planted a euphorbia that was in his private collection that was very similar to this. And you'll get to see it next week. I'm not sure, what kind of euphorbia this is. I'm not even 100% sure it's a euphorbia. I think it is. Anywho, it's very similar to the one that my client has. And I was at Al's Botanic Wonders today. They have moved to Sarver Lane in San Marcos. They're no longer off of Mar Vista. They've moved to a new location next to the church over there. It's closer to Waterwise, so that's a plus. But anywho, they're having a sale, and I needed to pick up some stuff for this job next week, and I saw this. And I thought, oh, I think that would look amazing in that pot instead of the trigona. So this trigona is going to be moved into a client's garden at some point. I will store it over on the side of the house where I have the bougainvillea that's very, very shady, and it'll just languish there until I have a use for it, because it is a beaut. So I thought it would be fun to show you how I'm going to get this out of the pot. Greg said, "Don't you just want to move the pot?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want to move the pot because I have the pot staged. It's a little bit sunk in. I have all kinds of different top dressings going on around it, and I don't want to move it." So I don't know if this is going to work or how hard this is going to be, or if I can even do it, but let's try, right? So I'm going to take the Sawzall and I'm going to work it around the edge. It had been in this pot for a couple of years, so I don't think it's going to be, too horrifically root bound, but who the heck knows? Let's see what happens. See if I made any progress. I'm going to take this old towel, because she's pokey. I'm not going to try to touch the plant, so I'm just going to wrap it in this towel. Let's see. What I can do here. She's moving. Look at that. I don't want to break it, but, it wouldn't be the end of the world if I did. Okay, let's see if I can lift it out. Oh my gosh, look at me! I did it! Okay, it wasn't even hard. Wow, if I'd known it was going to be this easy, I'd have done this a long time ago. But then again, I wasn't really inspired specifically with any other plant to put in this pot. Okay, so you're probably wondering, well, is she gonna, what's she gonna do here? Is she gonna leave this soil or put in new soil or what? Like I said, that plant had only been in this pot for a couple of years. It wasn't, as you could see, root bound. The soil's fine. I'm not gonna mess with it. This is actually amended topsoil. When I created this garden, I made mounds, and this, I can see and tell that this is soil from the rock yard. Remember, those of you that watched yesterday's video where I repotted the spiral cactus that had rotted, and I told you, I had this brilliant idea to add some gravel to the soil mixture, thinking that that would help it dry out, help the soil dry out faster. You schooled me. One of you followers that's way smarter than me said, no girl, that's probably not going to do it. And you suggested perlite and sand would be a better choice over gravel. So like I told you yesterday, here in the land of milk and honey, rot isn't a thing. I don't really know, it doesn't happen that often. So I'm no expert on what to do. So I'm really trusting you know best. And therefore, because this is a new plant in the garden, and I want to do my due diligence, I want to do my best, not only for my own plants, but for the advice and suggestions that I give you, I got some sand, and I'm going to mix some sand in here. I don't have any perlite on me, but I might just buy a bag. I think you can buy perlite at garden centers. I'm sure you can. I think you can get it off Amazon. I think you can get it, even the box stores carry it, I think. Okay. Ooh, I've got some really cool fire glass in here too. Okay. I have mixed in some sand, and now I'm going to take my new cute little adorable plant. There's one way to tell for sure if it's euphorbia. Does it have that white milky sap? The odds of me getting this planted without making this plant bleed are slim to none, so I'm sure we'll see some white milky sap. Okay, look at what this is planted in. This is heavy perlite. Look at that. Can you see that? Trying to get out of the sun. All that white stuff. Pretty sure that is perlite. So yeah, perlite, people, perlite. Okay, let me dig out a little hole here. And pop her in. Oh, I need to build the soil up a little higher. Did I crack it anywhere? Naturally, I didn't when I want to prove a point. Well, we'll cut into it a little before we're done here and just see. Okay. Oh, and thanks also, guys, for sharing your ideas on what that little cactus that threw off the amazing bud is. Probably some sort of night blooming cactus, which makes perfect sense. You want to give them an update, Greg, over there? I stuck it over there with my collectibles after we tidied it up yesterday, and you can see that it's thinking about it. If it's a night bloomer, I'm not going to get a picture, although I might in the morning, right? Because I get up pretty early. But if I'm able to catch it opening, like I said, I will photograph it for you. It's so beautiful. Okay, how's that? I am so stoked about this plant. It's really spiky. I don't really want to touch it, but I need to. Oh, no, I don't. It's good. Okay. All right. So I'm going to throw some more of this soil in here with the rest of the sand. Mix it together. And then fill it in. If you look outside and you're just overwhelmed because your garden is such a hot mess and you don't know where to start, this is a good place to start. It's kind of like, and I've said this before, when you bring in fresh flowers from the grocery store and you put them in a vase and you stick them on the counter in the kitchen, it's a lot more inspiring to clean the kitchen after that, at least for me. So doing one thing, fixing one little thing, may just inspire you to roll up your sleeves and get to work doing some other stuff too. I have a feeling I'm going to be spending some time out here tomorrow doing other things because this is going to so inspire me. I'll have to ask Al, or maybe you guys know what this is. Ooh, if you guys could give me an ID, that would be sweet. If not, I can ask Al Klein because there was no label, no ID on the can. Okay, now pack that in. I can't believe how easy that was to get out with the Sawzall. Oh, so stinking cute. Okay, I'm gonna cut into it just a little so we can see if it bleeds milk. Yep, it's a euphorbia. See all that white milky stuff? Yay. Very cool. Okay. Now, I rescued all of these little glass beads that I had around the euphorbia. Pop these back on top. The little bit of yellowing here at the tops of these pieces, I'm not sure what that's about. I don't really think it's that serious. I'll keep an eye on it. I don't think it's variegated. I think it just had a little issue. Maybe it had flowered there or something. I don't know. Okay. How cute is that? Let me step back and take a look. Wow, I love it. I absolutely adore it. How fun is that? And now this beautiful Euphorbia trigona will be gracing somebody else's garden. I'll use it in a client's yard. The first opportunity. First client where I think it'll work, I shall use it. Okay, so, you know, not a biggie, right? Sometimes you think it is and you get into it and you figure out that it's not such a biggie after all. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day and creating new garden art out of the old. Bye, guys.